Welcome everyone to a quick live stream here. I wanted to share here some thoughts and of course other YouTubers, because I certainly don't buy and test into other people's cloud services. Case in point is this Google Stadia, this new gaming streaming stuff, and I'm pretty sure we called this out in one of those IT news streams some 6 months ago or something, and now it started to launch a little bit and the first tests are in, and in my opinion these results here are embarrassing. When you take a look at this, here's a latency, for example, here Gamers Nexus, and this video is just out today, so you probably want to maybe watch this. And as you see, I just need to check in my live streaming progress a little bit. As you see, some tests, of course this video is super long, 30 minutes if you want to watch this, but basically, so one example, just one case in point, they also benchmark latency of all the other Chromecast versus Stadia controller, something, whatever, but comparing here is like a little bit apple and oranges, but PC and Stadia in a browser, I think even this Stadia in a browser, like not with a Chromecast, but or with a Stadia controller thing, the browser thing was even faster and snappier. Anyway, so we are looking here at the latency that is nearly 4 times as high, plus minus, give or take, something like that sort, and that is crazy in my opinion. And that is also what I called out in the IT news stream some months ago, that I called this bullshit, right? I mean, this is this kind of solutions looking for a problem, and a problem that we didn't have. And I said this before, even fun fact, even when I usually, even over our business DOCSIS cable, I can't even reliably, was that reliably, as at least we again had hiccups a little bit starting this stream. So in the center of Berlin, the capital of Germany, yes, our internet also mostly sucks. Well, maybe not sucking on US level, but sucking on level of Romania and Asia and stuff. They of course have much more amazing internet there. But yet, capital of Germany here, not too shabby, at least some pseudo 100. Actually, wait a second, our downstairs 400, but anyway. But obviously the latency to some Google servers, some 20 whatsoever milliseconds, probably plus minus something. And of course all of this processing and stuff is adding up. Maybe I think Google promoted some a little bit bullshit ideas, in my opinion, of like negative latency, of maybe like simulating what the user would do. But in my opinion this is also a little bit bullshit, right? I mean, either you want to play or you want to have some like half play of having some AI simulate of like pre-crime, right? You know, this is science fiction, like pre-game AI to minimize the latency. And last but not least, so the whole concept is bullshit in my opinion. The biggest bullshit is that when I travel, so not only when I was a child and we had a Game Boy, which certainly back in the day was amazing, you could sit in a car, you could sit in a tent, you could sit somewhere and you could game. This is modern cloud gaming stuff. You can't do this anymore, because even in Germany, yes, our internet is not as amazing as in Korea or Taiwan or even Romania or something. But even in Germany, we don't have the most amazing, or often not at all, LTE or even 3G or whatever at highways or railway tracks. Experience that even often myself, oftentimes. And so you travel with your kids or with yourself, you want to play some game in a train, in an airplane, because seriously, when I at least usually, well, not that I game too much, but if I game, then either something interesting that I would maybe enjoy in quality, like some vintage gaming here with X-Wing or SimCity, just previous videos. But otherwise, when I'm traveling and I have nothing to do on an airport, and you cannot tell me that even with EU roaming, which at least in the EU is now relatively amazing, so roaming in this many EU states, but even with this roaming, first of all, of course, roaming in airports or railway stations or wherever is also not amazing. Then you have also some roaming data cap of maybe 20 gigabytes or something. But last but not least, so all of this preconditions already not amazing. And why? When you can even on each bloody smartphone, you can game, right? Why do we need this cloud stuff? And because again, with this you can sit in an airplane. I don't understand the issue even to start with. And then the biggest thing, of course, after all those technical hurdles and preconditions, and again, with cloud servers, with connections, there always will be more latency than the milliseconds of USB or I2C or any other SPI, whatever protocol going here through your locally CPU running game. And last but not least, of course, the next step of losing the content that you purchase, not like good old-fashioned optical disc or even, God forbid, I have even here a good old backup copy of Lotus 3 for PC edition. We probably want to test next, but I also wanted to remind people to really think if this is really a good idea, and maybe for latency it's already not a good idea. I think they even said that graphic did not look so amazing. We can even let the video run here maybe shortly.
From other reviewers using different methods and different hardware. We took 5 samples for each average,
Stadia PC browser,
and the maximum and minimum
was already better. But one thing looked really like there you could see already the latency you could see here.
So 87.5, although
Stadia, was it still the same? Can mix up. Maybe I should have Stadia via Chromecast. Maybe that was worse.
the Chromecast also runs hot, and we suspect that it's possible it could throttle to some degree after.
Yeah, when you already see the latency in the browser, in the video, it's hilarious. And back in the day on a 386 here also on this channel, we had nearly zero latency when even back on a 386 or 486 Pentium DOS vintage gaming, we make so many steps backward, including with the whole cloud stuff, that previously there were mainframes and then we had personal computers, that everyone has its personal computer, and now we should give it all up just because big corporations can maximize their profit. And personally, many games, of course there are amazing PC games today, but when I see some of these games, I have to say some of the Amiga and whatever games, leave in the comments below what were your most favorite games. And again, but with this kind of cloud gaming latency, I have to say gaming on a 386 with X-Wing versus TIE Fighters or something was more snappy than this. And of course, what I wanted to say before, you don't own the content anymore. So the future of, even if there would be some amazing games, so we need to be careful if we would even want to allow this. So even if it would not be so bad as it is, the question really should be, do we even want this, right? That is a bigger question also with our own problems in the App Store, where I even as an own user do not really want to go the subscription route for our own users of Exascan and Osiaken and stuff. But negative latency, do you comment this because I just said this, AA, and so do we even want to subscribe to such a future where we don't even own any license? We did of course not own the copyright of the game, but only the license. But then the license, even if you would keep a backup copy, actually here for somewhere, Quake 3, we want to try sometime soon next year, original Linux version of Quake 3 Arena. And even this latency on PC, so the latency on USB was already higher due to the complexity of the USB protocol, and only in last years with all the PC gaming hype, this was a little bit more optimized again, and latency optimized peripherals were more sold, and maybe it even got slightly better with internet is not is only 50 Mbit, but again we cannot even reliably stream here in the center of Berlin with 5 Mbit to YouTube. Of course it is the opposite direction, but yet anyway. And interrupt took too long, lowering kernel perf, whatever, but well, at least it was not a TG3 hiccup. Also I have here a recent article, I think this was recent here from some German news sites. And also kurze Geschichte, you write, okay Boomer, you mean this as a joke as it, or that I'm a boomer? But anyway, so the test of LTE in Germany became slower, quite some percent here, some of average telecom from 43 to 28. So quite some regression there in terms of performance, but I expect that this is probably because of congestion there on the network. Of course, Dieter there just joining here for the networking stuff. So you have it here black on white, although not printed for boomers, but 19th November, pretty fresh. German LTE stuff getting slower, and certainly also because non-boomers but youngsters, hipsters and stuff, doing all the cloud stuff and consuming all the media, Netflix, YouTube here, certainly my channel also contributing to that a little bit. But yeah, so it's not getting like better, and even I don't really see like with 5G also higher frequency, less distance there, and so I'm not even convinced that 5G will fix this in cities. It doesn't even help that much, because with a higher frequency and a shorter distance, it's not penetrating buildings as much. And then with even more people watching even more video and streaming games, then yeah. Dieter says everyone seems to ignoring hop count. Yeah, also, so yeah, leave me in the comments what you think about this situation. They even called out image quality, but even they said here, like Gamers Nexus, I don't want to play the whole video because it was unfair. I only wanted to shout out, so also promoting this otherwise amazing channel. But you see here, even between browser and this Chromecast stuff, much higher, like like nearly twice the latency. It's hilarious. And additionally, I think they mentioned that the image quality looked even less good and resulted in even higher latency, which is of course, Google says they have so amazing servers, and then they can't even render this here in full K and all glory. Yeah, it's not even visual quality more amazing, and yeah, even other like Linus Tech Tips just the other day, but it doesn't probably, Linus Tech Tips don't need to shout out this multi-million subscriber channel, but they recently, I think, had a test latency. And even there, this pro gamers like really here, maybe this does. So latency with 240 megahertz displays. And when you look at this, they test here if the real professionals, e-gaming professionals, do here crosshair shooting in whatever game that was. I also find the place here somewhere, like here, maybe, what here, where would that be? Here. And like they reliably could test that 60 versus 200 something, whatever, 240 something, 60 versus 120 or 140 and 240 makes a difference, and it made a difference for them. It was measurable and consistently harder, and then I wonder, how do you want to play such a game with twice the latency? It's ridiculous. Anyway, but also the additional shout out here, not to forget the cloud craziness, and leave me in the comments what you think about this cloud future. Maybe not even so this was only like Stadia rightfully getting here not the best getting started reviews, and also the whole thing of not owning the game, not owning the software, also in the App Store, like the centralized distribution stuff, even like ourselves having problems there with reviews and rules, you can't even get it to the customers, and big monopolies. It's basically like AT&T, like Google, the new AT&T of the day of trying to do the whole internet worldwide. And then yeah, thank you everyone there for the comments. And the additional stuff, the cloud stuff in general, is this even worse? Personally, when I travel, I often have problems. I try to avoid cloud stuff, but even then, like following up meetings, all this for international committee stuff, PDF standard and such, it's already a pain to manage all your cloud stuff, and then you are abroad and all the hotel and airport Wi-Fi sucks even more. And last but not least, Friday for Future here, the energy waste, right? Instead of running your PC locally, we run whole data centers constantly 24/7, and all the internet routing in between, all the cellular towers just to stream all the stuff. In total, like so many points that makes no sense in my opinion, but yeah. Yeah, opinion discarded, try to playing with a satellite. Yeah, exactly. So even next to Hanover, where I'm from here in Germany, where my parents still live, there they don't even have cable or fiber. They have DSL and not even the best. So they have like 16.5 Mbit or something. Yeah, and this is a normal small town, not even far away from capitals of federal regions here in Germany. But yeah, then again, our internet sucks, obviously. But again, in the countryside in the USA, I heard it sucks even more. And plus, as you say, satellite. Fun fact: one on the T2 mailing list, I remember someone from Australia. He is on satellite, and I asked him if he doesn't want to donate $1 a month for all his recurring mailing list questions, and he said he tried, but he could not operate over satellite the Patreon site because it's loading. I have to admit, the Patreon site is super slow already for me, but then he said it's impossible in Australia over satellite to load a modern web 2.0 site. It's hilarious. Yeah, on top of massive bill, a pretty bad experience. Maybe the bill would not be too massive. I think satellite internet could be quite affordable than Australia, but the latency certainly killed it. Also, maybe the SpaceX Starlink stuff makes it better. Also, I heard complaints because the satellites are in lower Earth orbit. And is it Tesla? No, SpaceX, did I say? SpaceX, Starlink. But the only thing of course is that astronomers already complain. Here just 17 hours, they are a little late. So I saw this before already on another news site. So will SpaceX Starlink mega constellation ruin astronomy? Biggest ever eye on the sky, because some people even complain, maybe in running the Inter-American Observatory main site in Chile, said they couldn't even track what they wanted to track in the night sky because they only saw the satellites fly by. Do they even have a picture maybe somewhere? But anyway, so yeah, maybe that is also, so yeah, this Starlink stuff could be slightly better in terms of latency and stuff for users like this in the outback there in Australia or similar remote regions somewhere else. But there is of course also the question, instead of, well, theoretically it works that we have internet here on the ground, having this question marks there not only with the night sky but also with safety. Not that future ships crash into those Starlink satellites, I don't know. But anyway, opinion discarded writes, geostationary satellite 620-ish milliseconds latency is a theoretical minimum. Yeah, there's 36,000 kilometers. Once upon a time I calculated that also 20 years ago, but yeah, anyway, just checking the comments. someone doesn't like this content, that is also fine. This is also not 2 hours run. This is just here coming then to the summary. It's mostly getting a little bit longer when we discuss here some more additional stuff. But this is also not a run. I also don't understand this. First of all, well, I don't want to buy this Google Stadia stuff here just to test it. But the other thing is I want to discuss this kind of stuff here in some detail and bring some awareness, and also that people think not only this going out and like ordering something from Google and not thinking about how good is it really. In my opinion, this has nothing to do with run with calling out like, hey, it is as bad as to be expected from the latency. But anyway, also we can't do SGI Octane stream. Not even sure if this is our usual troll there, but I anyway did never plan to make certainly makes no sense to make a channel with only SG Octane. Not sure what people are expecting. Even with PS3 and Octane, it's getting a little bit too boring. So Detard says path latency to the ISS is 3 to 5 milliseconds more or less. That is interesting. 1,100 baud. Is it baud? BPS is baud, right? Is it probably bits per second, right? Yeah, I used to play something, couldn't even play Sniper Course, I probably even React. Yeah, anyway, that's it for this video. Only wanted to bring this to some attention, not that people buy this stuff for Christmas and then are disappointed that it's hard to play with this stuff. I hope you learned something. Also, here's this other video about this high refresh rate. Theoretically, on more serious topic, I would actually be interested. I think there is not yet a variable refresh rate compositor for the Linux desktop. That would also be something that theoretically would be interesting. I think this should be relatively nicely doable. Speaking about this high refresh rate displays, usually they have then variable refresh rate, either AMD, VESA, FreeSync, or NVIDIA, whatever. Not interested in proprietary NVIDIA solutions though. And theoretically this would be super cool also to save battery on laptops when you only composite the desktop. Speaking about something more professional and more something, I think right now nothing supports this on Linux except like some games, of course only in very selective driver combinations. And yeah, Detard also would like that. I think this should be possible because a compositor in with damage and damage, is it X damage or damage, whatever, damage extension. So you get like notifications what is defect. So if nothing is redrawing, you get no defects in your compositor of compositing this stuff. So yeah, very theoretically, the only thing is, yeah, like vintage X code is like, yeah, not really sure. The issue is I would actually enjoy it more like writing it from scratch with our microkernel stuff instead of with this XOR code base. Sometimes maybe there's a reason why nobody has done it when the code is so nah. Anyway, theoretically, you can leave me in the comments below if you would have rather seen here 1 hour graphic stuff. I will have it soon here, soon in a decade. So theoretically, I have actually here somewhere, I was thinking, I only had 1 hour, I need to go now. And theoretically, I wanted to start with the rendition Verity also to write the low-level code there for getting there something done just for the fun of it. But I was thinking this Google Stadia stuff, latency, cloud stuff is more interesting for more people. Probably this very exceptional GPU from back in the day. Nobody has it. Probably very exotic corner case, and maybe the most interesting for myself for some programming challenge. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you learned this, something from this, either from variable and high refresh rate displays, or that Stadia maybe not as amazing as Google advertising says it is. Also in this video, Gamer Nexus also does not really want to see this advertisement, darn it. Anyway, let's switch there, play the advertisement. Gamer Nexus rightfully called out similar. We had this live stream also.
Super high on fancy.
They rightfully call it out here like, yeah, maybe it will be gone soon, and even quote here the same side of 150 or so Google projects that failed already, and they are as ranting and pessimistic as myself, giving it not much time and warning like, if you buy this, maybe it will be discontinued soon. Welcome Ned probably, kind of late to the stream. Used GeForce Now on school internet and it was awesome. I used GeForce Now. Okay, Stadia was just rushed before xCloud became, it will be better later. Okay, thanks for your comments. Well, of course, that is a use case, like cloud playing in school. Interesting use case. But the question is, of course, do you really want to not own the game, or just own a game and play it on hardware you have, and be more flexible in terms? Also, I mean, even if, but no, the stream becomes longer again. One last point I forgot. Even if it works often relatively well, like even on our live stream we had here, again, streaming this, even can't make this up in this stream 2 or 3 times some DOCSIS cable hiccup. And it would be frustrating to me. Imagine you really play some hour, like either you are a child or you're into gaming, whatever, you play for hours, enjoy it most of the time, and then sometimes they are like stuttering and outages, and the game hangs for a second. In my opinion, quite unacceptable, I would say. But yeah. Also, videos, theoretically, I have some rant about YouTube advertising, but probably we save this for another day. Have to go now. I hope you learned something, or if you have a question, I can check. Do I have my other phone? Otherwise, if you have some question, or where did I even put my other phone? Maybe my jacket. Anyway, if you have later comments, leave them in the comments below. Maybe I even make a questionnaire what kind of stuff you want to see. Maybe we should just do this kind of hanging out together on the more live stream channel there, the second channel on probably, I don't know, that side there. And depends, don't have money to get a good computer. Yeah, so nowadays the smartphone gaming also not too bad, right? And you can plug a display in it. And I heard you need to buy the game, right? Even Gamer Nexus called out that you need to buy some games here. Where was this? So not really sure if that will be some. Here is some. So $9.99 a month. Part of Premiere Edition, frame rate. Buy games whenever. So year additional free. So they write here buy games. So what do they mean with this? You need to buy the basic streaming free, and you need to pay for the games additionally. Yeah, Pro exclusive discounts on selected game purchases. Yes. So it sounds to me like, well, okay, you save on your gaming rig, but on the games not really so much. But anyway. Also for on the go, I would probably personally, but leave them in the comments below, I would personally probably prefer some portable console thing like the Nintendo Switch or whatever, instead of, also yeah, on the go, like when you commute in a subway, yeah, good luck by the way with Stadia in the subway. Anyway, yeah, this PlayStation Portable looked quite nice. I never had one. Actually, I was thinking of maybe I should find one on eBay just for the MIP CPU PSP. Also, of course, I'm not even sure if it had an MMU. Maybe the PSP didn't have an MMU, memory management unit, but so MMU-less Linux for on our channel. But yeah, so the PSP looked really nice back in the day, and I would much rather. Although, yeah, people already wrote there, okay, boomer, but not really a boomer, but I would much rather prefer a good old-fashioned console for on the go. But yeah, leave in the comments below if this is somehow, because again, you would stream this on your phone, right? And you would have, anyway, not even expecting commuting and bus and trains the best experience plus, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, there was a UC Linux port. Maybe so, also maybe just Nintendo Switch for the Linux hacking. Anyway, that's it for today. Hope anyway the remaining people who did not leave here liked it today. Otherwise, you can always leave me in the comments. What also, actually, fun fact, the person I was considering to do some SGI. So the problem with SGI, there is one a little bit irritated person that doesn't make this playing with SGI experience the most amazing here when I always read the hate comments on those videos. I theoretically have some SGI Octane stuff. Of course, we need to continue, just that I'm not each day motivated to read this trolls there. Also, coming up theoretically, I wanted to have some fun also with a tape backup and audio, digital audio tape and stuff, only on the SGI tape firmware. And yeah, I don't mind the trolls. This is why we do this video. Anyway, not minding the... So anyway, yeah, you didn't miss much, Christian. Thanks for joining in, for tuning in. You have not missed much, just some Google Stadia run and questioning the Google Cloud stuff. Anyway, looking forward to your comments and hope to see you soon. And probably I make a question here what you'd like to see most, like programming, microkernel, vintage hardware, SGI Octane stuff. And anyway, we really need to rush now, so see you next time.